Blues get back to action tonight. We'll preview that. Robert Thomas, though, took a leave of absence. He's been hurt. He's been injured. Team's not commenting. Said he'll be back on Friday. So there you go for Robert. Something going on there. Hopefully all is well, especially coming off a 3-week break. So sometimes things happen and you have to go kind of take care of business from that standpoint. So Robert will be taking care of that. We've got more of a spring-like feel weather that's coming back. That's a great thing. Enjoy that through Friday, that's for sure. Speaking of the Blues, former coach Joel Quenneville earns a massive, and I mean a massive honor last night. What a career he has had. Hall of Fame career in regards to everything that he has done. We'll certainly get into that. Not only do the Blues get back in action tonight, they have another game Saturday late afternoon, 4 o'clock start, which will be interesting because Jack Hughes will be here. I love that. I saw this a tattoo somebody got yesterday called Hughes Your Daddy. Directed at Canada, which is fantastic. Having some fun with that situation. Hughes Your Daddy. Oh, I absolutely love it. Also, depending upon anything else you guys, whatever you guys want to talk about, you let us know. You know what we do. We'll have some fun here this morning. Anyway, that's what's happening on a Thursday morning. Anything else you guys got going on this weekend? Let us know. We'll have some fun from that standpoint. We'll talk. We'll get some things done. I also we have SLU gets back to action this weekend. They'll be hosting the game. Missouri is on the road, and then also what was interesting too from college basketball last night, you've got another team that's surging, and I mean surging as hot as any team in the country, and that's the defending national champion, Florida Gators. Ranked 7th now, probably moving up again after this week. Of course, one of the only losses was to your Missouri Tigers. UConn destroyed St. John last night as well, so that's another very, very good team that's getting better and better as time goes on. And from a local standpoint, if you guys want to talk basketball and shoot that up too, you can do that. Some good games in the area last night. Vianney held off CBC, very low scoring game. And also, which was interesting when I saw the final score come in, Chaminade having no problems beating Webster in a battle of two of the areas and maybe state's best teams. So congrats to Chaminade taking care of their business last night. It's also, it was recently what would have been the 25th birthday of Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz. He was the local Marine that was killed in Afghanistan nearly 5 years ago already. The event served as both a birthday celebration and a way for the community to honor his military service. Of course, Schmitz was a St. Charles County native and one of 13 U.S. service members who were killed in a suicide bombing in Afghanistan back on August 26th of 2021. Of course, since that attack, his family and the family's friends and local residents have held annual events to maintain his legacy and support veterans through charitable initiatives. This one took place at Town Square Pub and Grill. And there was live music, dinner, drinks to honor the Schmitz family. So that was Mark Schmitz, Jared's father, said together, and he's become an annual tradition for the family since they received that news that came down. So those are some of the things that are happening today. Anything else you guys want to jump into? Of course, as always, let us know so that we can get it all out there. I am also checking in here. We've got, let's see. Several Applebee's are closing in Missouri and across the country. I remember we told you this several months ago that it was going to come that way, but somehow, some way, the Applebee's franchises, I guess, had run their way, had run their luck. And you know what? Sometimes that happens. All good things, if that was a good thing, must come to an end at some point in time. And that's exactly what happened, I guess, with Applebee's as they were having some issues there. Um, we'll see that. Plus, St. Louis Public Schools sold 2 of their buildings to the city for some redevelopment that were damaged in the tornadoes. We consistently have some action going on there. Also, any of the other headlines, any of the other things that you want to get to, we'll do that. By the way, we take you to 8 o'clock, and Hot Take Central 2.0 follows us right after our show from 8 to 10 o'clock. And it's a Thursday, which means from 10 to 11, we have the Co-Found Hers show. And then from 11 to 1, you know what time that is? It is the Charlie Tuna special show. So that goes. So news from Florida. Well, I mean, the Cardinals beat the Mets yesterday 6-0. They had some guys that did some really good things as well in that game, which was good to see. You can't get a lot out of spring training. You can't. But it's always nice to see Nolan Gorman hitting home runs like he should. He had a really big blow, which was outstanding. Thank God we need, if the Cardinals are going to have any sort of a decent season, they've got to get something out of Gorman, right? I think we need that. And his playing time has been opened up now with Nolan Arenado headed to Arizona in the trade that was going there. Cardinals also had some pitchers that Fitz had a couple good innings. He was getting up near 99 miles per hour, which is really good. It was his Richard Fitz. It was his major league debut, by the way. He worked the first 2 innings scoreless. He allowed 2 hits, also recorded a strikeout, which was good. So, got to get those guys out and about, get them up and running. Not a lot of action to report on from spring training yet. Still kind of early in the season. Also up next, Matthew Liberatore is going to make his second start of the spring today when the Cardinals are hosting the Astros in Jupiter. And it's always nice to get down there, Cardinal spring training. If you haven't had a chance to do it ever, especially when the weather is cold here, getting a chance to go down to Florida, it's really a nice change of pace. It really is, to go down and watch and take in some Cardinals baseball in Jupiter, and just a very nice, relaxed vibe. That's for sure, for people to get out and enjoy and see what they can get done. So we are grateful for that. Also, I saw another interesting story, which we can get into today. The first bag of our show, we kind of promote some of the things that are happening on the show later in the day. But I did find this interesting. Cardinals president, Bill DeWitt III, was asked yesterday morning during a panel at the SBJ National Sports Forum about the biggest challenge facing his franchise. And he said, you know what he said? The changing media landscape. I guess because of rights fees are going down, DeWitt said. So you've got a declining revenue stream that you have to navigate somehow, some way. This is not the first time that DeWitt III has talked about the declining revenue stream. Maybe as much as maybe $15 million a year gone in revenue. And even a baseball organization losing that money. It's a big deal. DeWitt took the panel yesterday with some other local team leaders like St. Louis City SC owner Carolyn Kindle and Blues president and CEO Chris Zimmerman. They said a portion of which focused on the franchisee's various media outlets, given the impending wind down of Main Street Sports Group and its FanDuel Sports Midwest channel. So, as you may have known, and we have told you and reported on all of our media outlets, the Cardinals have opted into Major League Baseball's operated local broadcast solution. So, they're going on MLB.com, which includes the traditional pay TV distribution and direct to consumer streaming. So, um, they're losing a lot of money. The Cardinals are, that is, and now they're trying to find a way to make sure that things go well, that they can find another way to make things happen. So, anyway, that's one of those things that's going on. By the way, there's also another thing that's happened on. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but Global Brew Tap House announced that it's going to be closing its Rock Hill location next month, March 15. They're closing. We've seen some more of these craft beer places starting to go out of business. Has that situation gone downhill now? Has it had its run? No reason for the closure was given, just that after 10 years, they would be closing the door. They first opened a location in Edwardsville in February of 2011, then a second location in O'Fallon, Illinois. That was in 2012. And then they have two other locations in Illinois, in St. Charles and Schaumburg, and then, of course, one in West Des Moines, Iowa. They offer 50 craft beers and offer an abundance of bottled craft beers from around the world, but they will be going out of business. So I'll certainly wish them the best, but right now, that is not going to be a good thing. So they're out of there. By the way, Casey's is opening up 80 new locations around the country. Casey's getting some of that good vibe that's going on. Applebee's closing up shops, but Casey's is starting to come pretty well. There was also the data. I'm telling you guys, as we get into some of these headlines that start to show off today, the data centers and the things that are going on with that, these stories continue. Last night, they were in Pacific, Missouri, continuing to try to find places to build these data centers. We need these data centers for all of the technology and AI that we have. We do. And they're coming at some point in time. But right now, they are running into lots of problems with people complaining, people trying to block, people coming in to meetings trying to stop them because of concerns. Last night in Pacific, you had a situation that ended within minutes after the developer behind a proposed $16 billion data center project withdrew its rezoning application, drawing shouts of frustration from a packed high school auditorium. So Beltline Energy pulled its request to rezone land just south of the city limits, citing an inability to finalize a funding agreement. The company has proposed building the data center of Highway O in Franklin County with the Merrimack River along the northern edge site. Lots of people complaining. Their attendees gathered to speak against the project. They were left without the opportunity to address the commission, though, last night because they had pulled it out. So people went, and then they had all their time wasted. They didn't have a chance to go and complain. So the meeting had been coming up for quite some time, and then all of a sudden, the project decided, oh, well, we don't have it now. So this is what's interesting. This all happened after the Pacific Board of Aldermen voted to approve a contract with Beltline Energy Monday to assist the city to pay the expert consultants to aid the city. But then people came out and they weren't able to talk last night. And obviously people were frustrated that it had already been canceled. So what happens? They go out there to talk and nobody tells them that it had already been stopped. So not exactly the best feeling in the world for the people and the citizens who live out there. They're going to have to deal with their aldermen. The aldermen are going to have to deal with that because that story doesn't seem like it's going anywhere anytime soon. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Another interesting thing, we'll get into it. We'll show you the video in the next couple of segments. Jack Hughes returned to the ice last night, the American hero who scored the game-winning goal against Canada to give our country the gold medal and hockey dominance. He spoke last night. You'll hear from Jack Hughes. He also did something very cool. One of his teammates, Tage Thompson, is a member of the Buffalo Sabres, and he called him out to ice to get a standing ovation in front of the hometown New Jersey Devils. And by the way, Jack Hughes is going to be in St. Louis on Saturday afternoon. The Blues have a game at 4:00 against the New Jersey Devils. I certainly hope the Blues, even if they don't, I mean, obviously he's not going to have a mic, but just focus on him on the Jumbotron. At least throw up something nice, or during a break, say congratulations to Jack Hughes. This is a chance for the Blues to do something that's right and good. So hopefully they do that. This will be an opportunity because Jack Hughes is a star, and of course the Blues are a St. Louis city for hockey. But that also made me think about something that's happening. Brady Tkachuk, who's getting all this worldwide attention, and one of the members of the heart and soul of the American team, after they won, he's also the captain of the Ottawa Senators. Where's Ottawa? It's in Canada. And we already know these Canadians are really, they're hurt and their feelings are hurt and they're upset. Not all of them. I know some Canadians who are amazing people and have taken this very well. But if you look at the media and the fans from Canada, they're just been flat out nasty. I mean, flat out nasty to Americans. And I get it. Our fourth most popular sport beat your only sport, and that's bad. That would be tough to take. I get it. But now Ottawa and their fan base, according to Brady Tkachuk, they said they're now starting to turn on him as he has returned home to his team. This is how bad it is, and this is how crazy and I guess frozen the Canadians' brains are, that this man just won a gold medal. He represents your team. Get over yourself. You're not that cool. You're not that special. Your existence is not that special. I am sorry. None of our existences are that special that we have a right to go start ripping some guy or turning on him because he happens to be an American and he happens to be the captain of your Canadian team and he happened to be a part of the team that won the gold medal and made you guys suffer a second place finish. I mean, Brady Tkachuk doesn't deserve that stuff. But it is what is happening. Tkachuk he's like, they're not happy with me. He's like, I'm just going to go back and give them everything I've got. It's a funny feeling when you feel their support every day. And then within 2 weeks, you're public enemy number one. And that's what he said that he has returned to in Canada, being captain of the Ottawa Senators. He did. He said that things have changed. The Senators are currently in a dogfight to make the postseason. Right now, they're on the outside looking in. So they've got to find a way to make that happen. But of course, Brady and Matthew, his brother, Matthew Tkachuk of Florida, who probably aren't going to be making the playoffs this year, have become a face of the enemy for Canadians. I mean, they're brash. They're trash talking. They're physical. They'll get in your face. You don't mess with the Tkachuk brothers. You just don't. And, there's been some other players in the league over the years. I mean, Drew Doughty, the trash talked him. I just wished he could have been on the ice for the final goal when the Americans beat the Canadians. That dude talks way too much trash about the Tkachuks. Big talk, no walk, that kind of a deal. So Tkachuk just says that it's very, very weird going back to Canada now after his celebration tour as a gold medalist for the United States. So that'll certainly be interesting when they get some of that together. But we're off and rolling. The sun is up. Should be nice again. 50s today. Warmer temperatures even tomorrow, getting into the upper 60s and sun, which is nice. It is February 26th. Try to enjoy the day. I'm Vic Faust, producer Rise here. We are your Lou information station. We are live and on demand at louinfo.com. If you want to give us a call, you can do that as well. The phone number is 855-282-8255. You can also watch us on X, Facebook, and YouTube. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and reset the stage here on a Thursday morning and get into anything else that you guys want to talk about as we break down some of these stories and what's happening for the weekend right after this.
The Lou Information Station, a whole new way to enjoy content created just for those of us in the St. Louis area. It's a whole new way to advertise and promote your business. Reach out and find out just how different we are. If you're tired of one-sided advertising offerings or your traditional media rep trying to shove digital marketing down your throat, visit louinfo.com and click on advertising. Or email partnerships at louinfo.com for more information.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify. 800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. That's 800-803-1961.
LouInfo.com news headlines brought to you by Brown and Crouppen. GetBC.com.
Your LouInfo.com news report. The Boeing company is expanding its F-15EX production line in St. Louis as demand grows. The company's produced one F-15 per month for about 20 years, and that rate will double to 2 per month in early 2027, with deliveries beginning in late 27 or early 28. The company rep said Boeing did not slow hiring during the strike, increasing its F-15EX workforce. Those specific numbers were not released. Great Rivers Greenway is unveiling a nearly mile-long Brickline Greenway stretch featuring a new mural by St. Louis Artworks honoring the St. Louis Stars. The project is part of a 10-mile Brickline plan connecting 4 major parks and 14 neighborhoods. The $245 million project is expected to be finished by 2030. Spring training is on for the St. Louis Cardinals, and 2 franchise legends are headlining the Hall of Fame ballot, Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina. Fan voting is open through April 17th, induction on September 12th. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com and the free Lou Info app, I'm Jen Austin.
Now, louinfo.com weather, presented by Home Bank, member FDIC. Secure your financial future by opening a high-yield checking account today. Go to myhomebank.bank to get started.
Here's your louinfo.com weather update. Some clouds for a while, but things will clear out this afternoon. We have high pressure moving in, mid-50s on the high. Overnight will be clear with mid-30s, and then we're going up to about 70 for the high on Friday and sunny. Maybe a shower Saturday and low 60s, and then rain showers and cooler on Sunday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com and the free Lou Info app.
The Lou Information Station presents coverage of the Mid-States Hockey Playoffs, presented by Vantage Credit Union. Game coverage includes Founders Cup, Wickenheiser Cup, and Challenge Cup games, including each division's championship. Tune in or log on to the Lou Info YouTube channel. Mid-States Playoffs are presented by Vantage Credit Union and by Mattingly Lumber, WashU Medicine Orthopedics, and by Kenny Reinhold with Caldwell Banker Realty Gundaker.
After a long day, nothing beats kicking back in a brand new hot tub from St. Louis Hot Tub Warehouse. These guys are the real deal. They've been around for over 38 years and got more than 400 five-star reviews, and they've earned every single one of them. They sell premium, American-made hot tubs. USA, baby. And because they keep their overhead low, they pass the savings right on to you. You're getting better quality at a better price. And here's the best part. No hidden fees, no surprises, no, oh, by the way, charges. And if you find a comparable hot tub cheaper at a local dealer, they'll beat that price. Guaranteed. That's right. Best price guarantee. No one's beating them. Plus, when you buy from St. Louis Hot Tub Warehouse, you're buying from a company that's been here for decades. And they'll be here to service your tub for as long as you own it. Check them out at besthottubprices.com. That's besthottubprices.com. St. Louis Hot Tub Warehouse, highest quality, best price.
At Commercial Technology Solutions, we are all about solutions. We pledge that our sales staff will listen carefully to your needs and propose a solution customized to your business. Our services and tech support are second to none. When you establish your relationship with Commercial Technology Solutions, you can have confidence that your tech needs are in the hands of St. Louis's best. Contact them in Missouri at 314-421-3550, in Illinois 618-452-3550, and online at ctsphone.com.
Back to more of Arch City Now with Vic Faust on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back into the show. Glad you're here. Arch City Now and Vic Faust, producer Rye here as well. You guys know what we do. We're here till around 8 o'clock this morning. All things St. Louis all the time. And of course, anything else you guys want to talk about, jump in on X, Facebook, and YouTube. We appreciate you guys doing that with us as well. And of course, anything else that is going on, let us know. Like, subscribe, share the show. X, Facebook, and YouTube is where you can find us. Also, if you want to call us, you can do that at 855-282-8255. We are your Lou Information Station. We are live and on demand at louinfo.com. That's also where you can find out all of the stuff that we do with programming, not only here, but throughout the week and on the weekend as well. Well, no surprise here. How about this? You've got a situation where obviously we know spring training is underway. Cardinals won 6-0 yesterday. Richard Fitz, one of the new pitchers, looked good. Nolan Gorman hit a 3-run homer. That was nice. But once again, most people know that spring training is a lot of fool's gold when you look at numbers. It is. I'm sorry, it is. A lot of it is that way. But you want to keep people healthy, make sure people up showing some good signs of things, especially when they're new. Okay. So with the new season comes a new class of nominees for the Cardinals Hall of Fame. And we've got some icons on the ballot this year. Two of the best ever. A little over 3 years after they retired together, Cardinals legends Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina are up for induction into the Cardinals Hall of Fame. And they're also joined by a pair of outfielders who had their best seasons as members of the Cardinals as well, George Hendrick and Brian Jordan. So, I mean, you've got some darn good players from that standpoint. Obviously, Molina and Pujols being looked at, Pujols for sure, Hall of Famer. I think Yadier is for sure a Hall of Famer. What they've done and what they did. Of course, if you didn't know already, Molina, 19-year career, all with the Cards. He ranks in the top 5 in team history with 2,226 games played. He had just under 2,200 hits, 408 doubles. He is also the most decorated catcher in team history, 10 all-star appearances, 9 Gold Glove awards, and 4 Platinum Glove awards. It's crazy that he debuted in 2004 and helped the team win 2 World Series titles, of course. He is the franchise leader in postseason games as well with 104 and postseason hits, 102. And then, of course, with Pujols, one of the best players ever. Not to mention the Cardinals. He won National League Rookie of the Year in 2001. was the MVP in 2005, 2008, 2009. He could have been MVP a couple more years as well. And then, of course, the driving force behind winning some World Series titles in 2006 and 2011. Obviously, he played some of his career, half his career, as a matter of fact, elsewhere. He still ranks second on the Cardinals in all-time list in doubles, 469. Home runs, 469. RBIs, just under 1,400. So, and of course, his pursuit of 700 home runs made it one of the most exciting seasons at Busch Stadium 3 history. So, lots of good news there when it comes to the Cardinals, and obviously they'll be voted in. But there's some other fan favorites. How about, Brian Jordan was a darn good player here for the Cardinals, and so was George Hendrick. Jordan made his major league debut in 92, worked his way through the Cardinals system. He was such a darn good athlete, playing NFL football as well. Had a 3-year NFL career with the Falcons. Dynamic outfielder, speed, power. Had a 2020 season in 95, 22 home runs, 24 stolen bases. And then if you don't remember, a year later, he finished 8th in the MVP voting. That's how good Jordan was. He really, really was good. Also helped lead the Cardinals back to the playoffs for the first time in nearly a decade. Let's hope it's not a 10-year run right now before the Cardinals get back to the playoffs. And then, of course, George Hendrick. Big George. Very steady offensive force for one of the most exciting teams in Cardinals history. He drove in the winning run in Game 7 of the 82 World Series. Provided some thump and some speed. He had 122 home runs and drove in 582 runs, had 893 games with the Cardinals from 78 to 84. And, of course, he was a Cardinals hitting coach for the Cardinals in the 96-97 teams when kind of overlapped with Brian Jordan. So the voting, by the way, right now is open, and it's going to remain open until April 17th. The team said the player of players with the most votes will be enshrined into the Hall on September 12th. Look forward to seeing the Cardinals and how they handle that. Those guys, those are 4 really good candidates. Voting between them is, obviously Albert and Yachty, but those other guys are really good players as well. So have some fun with that. That's for sure. This is Arch City now. Glad you guys are with us this morning. It is 6:44 on a Thursday morning as we're rocking and rolling, getting you up and out the door this morning. The sun is up. Glad you guys are with us today. We were talking about Hall of Fames, and I found this one to be interesting when it comes, and it doesn't have to necessarily do with St. Louis, but you've got some Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2026 induction nominees. So who do you think the nominees are? What do you think of? They're all, I don't know. It's interesting. Some of the nominees, these are not acts or individuals who are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but have been announced as finalists. They're nominees. Phil Collins. All of them are super talented. Phil Collins, Melissa Etheridge, Lauryn Hill, Billy Idol, In Excess, Iron Maiden, Pink, Pink Hearted, Shakira, and the Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah, so that's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee list. By the way, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, for people who don't know. This year's list features 17 nominees, including 10 who landed on the ballot for the first time. I was giving you some of the updates, but the Black Crowes were on there as well. Mariah Carey. You've also New Edition. They were first time nominees. Oasis was on the list as well. Pink was a first time nominee. INXS first time nominee. Lauryn Hill first time nominee. Luther Vandross, a first time nominee as well. The Wu-Tang Clan, first time nominee as well. Sade on there as well, but not a first time member. It is interesting when you start to pick the Hall of Fame nominees and who makes it and who doesn't. I just find it pretty interesting. Yeah, we'll see where that all goes. Yeah, I just. What about the acts who are not in the Hall of Fame? Because we can argue about who's in the Hall of Fame and who isn't. I just find that one to be pretty interesting. When you look at who's there and who isn't. Right now, I was trying to look at some of those that are very, very interesting. Yeah, well, of course. Mariah Carey. She has to be in the Hall of Fame. She had 19 number one hits. 19 number one hits. I didn't even know that was possible. She should be in the Hall of Fame. And wow. Iron Maiden, with Black Sabbath, Metallica, Judas Priest, all inducted. Iron Maiden would appear next in line. Yeah, I agree with that. That'll probably happen, but that's a very interesting one too, to say the least. I don't know. Just got sidetracked a little bit looking at some of the music side of things. Wow. But they also have they have a list here of when you look at what kind of criteria it takes to get in and who isn't in there and who should be. Joy Division, New Order. They had a ton of big hits. I don't know about the B-52s. The B-52s. Of course, we talked about Mariah Carey. Smashing Pumpkins got a lot of lists. They were considered number 4 to not be in yet. Phil Collins, who's on the list this year. Diana Ross. She's been a snub so far. She's nominated 13 times without a win. She's an all-time legend. She's not in the Hall yet. Coldplay, yeah, I don't know. The Smiths, I mean, those are groups that I like, but kind of Weezer. Garth Brooks, not in the Hall of Fame. Another very, very interesting. Gosh, so darn interesting when you look at some of those. I'm curious who people in the St. Louis area like as well, but those are some weird ones. Producer Ryan, do you remember Weird Al Yankovic?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so, man. Crazy. So they're Barry White, TLC, and back. Anyway, this is Arch City now. Those are some of the things that we were talking about. Glad you're with us. 6:50 this morning. We're off and rolling. We talked about it a little bit earlier. The Blues get back to action tonight. It's been quite a while since they have been in action. St. Louis tonight, hosting the Seattle Kraken. And I would guess, I would think that would be, I don't know, a good thing for the Blues because they've been rested. The Kraken had to play a game last night. Kraken played a late game last night. So they were in Dallas and, they had a late game. So they're coming to St. Louis. They played last night. I would have to assume that they would be tired. So the Blues get them on home ice tonight after the Kraken played a game last night with the Dallas Stars. They lost 4-1. The Kraken are a pretty good team. They're 27-21, 27-21-9. They've also not been horrible on the road. They've been 13-12-4 on the road. So last night they were on the road and lost to the Stars. So they come to St. Louis tonight. The Blues, by the way, have the second worst point total in the Western Conference. So it's not good. We already know this team is not going to the playoffs, and we're expecting them to start selling. And that's what could happen. And then you start to look at some of the ideas and trade board talk. I mean, according to the Athletics, buyers and sellers, the Blues have 5 players that could be traded, or at least have been talked about, called about, or put out there. And Justin Falk could be one of those guys where he could go help a team out. But Falk's out there. I know this is going to be a weird one, but we've talked about it and knew about the possibility all season. Jordan Binnington. We've had the emergence of Joel Hofer, and Binnington has not had a great year. Yes, he played well in the Olympics, and there were some talking heads in the St. Louis area who acted as if this was some sort of surprise. Look at the team he had behind him or in front of him. I expected Jordan Binnington to be good because he has a damn good group of players in front of him. I said it on the show. He's going to play well at the Olympics because look at all the stars he has, first of all, on him. And then the competition level that they were playing was not supposed to be that great. But then he wasn't amazing in his semifinal game, but he was really good against the Americans. He was. I know he gave up a goal that he shouldn't have early on, but, it is what it is. But Jordan Binnington is up on this list of the top guys to get possibly traded. Justin Falk was number 4 on their list of all players who could get traded or had the best or most likelihood of getting traded. He was number 4. Binnington is number 10 on that board. Then at number 13, it's the Blues captain, Braden Shin. I do not want to see Braden leave, but it could happen. It's been a tough season for him, as it's been for most of the players, that's for sure. I mean, he could be a solid ad for a playoff team. And that's why I'm wondering what it looks like. There are some other centers that could be available, like Ryan O'Reilly, Nazem Kadri. Those are some other guys. So Shen could be an attractive player for a team, depending upon what the Blues could get back. And then Robert Thomas, that's another interesting one. He's number 22 on the list. He's still a very good player. But then, you've got Dalibor Dvorsky trying to make a case to take his job. Dalibor Dvorsky had a very good Olympics, opened up a lot of eyes. Even Jim Montgomery talked about that. And then on top of that right now, Robert Thomas has been recovering from an injury. And he just took a personal leave of absence. The Blues would not disclose what that is or even talk about it, just saying that he would be back with the team on Friday. So that could be interesting. We already know how super talented Robert Thomas is. Could be an off-season trade, though. Jordan Kyrie's down at the bottom of this list at 41. I mean, he could be traded. Jordan Kyrou. Would probably be an off-season thing. Could take a lot of time to get that done before the next week or so. But, we're just trying to talk on it up. We know we love our hockey here. We love our Blues. So those are some of the guys that you could see happen, before that. So we'll see. GM Doug Armstrong could be busy as he makes his way out. And of course, the Blues not going to the playoffs this year, sitting with the second worst record. Once again, the second worst record in the NHL. So we'll see where it goes. Talk about that. And of course, the Blues get back to action tonight. Can't wait for that. Not only that, but then Saturday at 4:00, Jack Hughes, the American hero, coming to town, Enterprise Center, 4:00. And we'll talk more about that. We'll take a break. When we come back, you're going to hear from Jack Hughes. He took the mic. He was in New Jersey last night in front of his home fans, thanking the fans. And of course, he did something else that wasn't about him, but it was about another team member too. That's another reason why to love this team. One of the most likable teams in the history of our country. Gotta love them. Absolutely love them. This is Art City Now. Producer Rise here. I'm Vic Faust. We are your Lou information station. We are live and on demand at louinfo.com. The phone number is 855-282-8255. Of course, you can stream us live every day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with that right after the break.
At Commercial Technology Solutions, we are all about solutions. We pledge that our sales staff will listen carefully to your needs and propose a solution customized to your business. Our services and tech support are second to none. When you establish your relationship with Commercial Technology Solutions, you can have confidence that your tech needs are in the hands of St. Louis's best. Contact them in Missouri at 314-421-3550, in Illinois 618-452-3550, and online at ctsphone.com.
Fast Track Auto Transport has been a trusted leader in vehicle shipping for over 25 years, providing reliable, affordable service across the U.S. Fast Track offers fast and safe transportation solutions for individuals, dealerships, fleets, and businesses of all sizes. The Fast Track team prides itself on honest communication, competitive pricing, and real-time tracking, which gives our customers peace of mind from pickup to delivery. Whether you're shipping a single car or managing a large fleet, Fast Track delivers a smooth, hassle-free experience every time. Come see why Fast Track Auto Transport has been St. Louis's go-to company for all your vehicle transport needs for over 25 years. The trusted way, the safe way, the Fast Track way. Visit ftautotrans.com or call 636-677-9004. That's ftautotrans.com or call 636-677-9004.
Introducing the Key STL Burger Bar and Boogie, your new home in the Grand Center Arts District. The Key STL is where the music plays, the game is always on, and the dance floor is open. The Burger Bar features the ultimate smash burger experience with premium pasture-raised local beef and a dozen house-made sauces to top it all off. It's the Key STL Burger Bar and Boogie, 3225 Olive in Midtown. Before, during, or after any game, this is the spot, St. Louis. Find out more at thekeystl.com.
Broadcasting live from the J. Randolph Jr. Studios in Kirkwood.
It's stronger than grandmother's breath.
KLIS 590 AM, Wood River, St. Louis.
Investigating after the Cuban Coast Guard opened fire on a Florida-registered speedboat, killing 4 and injuring 6 others. The Cuban embassy in the U.S. said the boat was detected in territorial waters near Cuba, and when border guard troops approached the vessel, they were shot at. The New York Times reports the incident involved a U.S. civilian boat that was part of a flotilla to get family members out of the communist nation. Rubio said he can't take the Cuban report about the event at face value, adding the U.S. will get to the bottom of what happened and share the findings with President Trump. The Clintons are scheduled to sit for their depositions in the House probe of the Jeffrey Epstein investigation.
The chair, James Comer, confirms former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton will be deposed Thursday, followed by former President Bill Clinton on Friday. The Clintons agreed to the videotaped sit-down at the 11th hour earlier this month, just as the House was set to vote on whether to hold the Clintons in criminal contempt of Congress for skipping their earlier deposition date. The Clintons say they're being selectively prosecuted by the Republicans on the committee. I'm Mark Mayfield.
President Trump took a jab at New York City, requiring ID to shovel snow while tying it to voter identification legislation. Here's reporter Scott Pringle.
During his State of the Union address, Trump pointed out that New York is in need of emergency snow shovelers.
If you apply for that job, you need to show 2 original forms of ID and a Social Security card. Yet they don't want identification for the greatest privilege of them all, voting in America.
Earlier in the month, Trump said voter ID requirements will be in place for the midterm elections, whether approved by Congress or not. Meanwhile, Mayor Mamdani responded to Trump's comments.
I want to actually say thank you, because part of the result of that is that we had more than 1,400 New Yorkers sign up.
Missourians with disabilities are calling on state lawmakers to reject proposed budget cuts. From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
Maybe this is you too. There's enormous frustration right now with healthcare costs. It is amazing. Healthcare costs for families in the last 20 years have almost tripled, and it just keeps getting worse. All this to say, this is why MediShare is so in demand right now. People are looking for alternatives, and MediShare is proven. You can save thousands of dollars a year and actually like it more. Over 1 million Americans are now part of healthcare sharing, and MediShare is the gold standard. It's trusted. It works. It's been helping people save money and have peace of mind now for 30 plus years. It's not some big impersonal thing either. It's a community of people like you helping each other. So yeah, if you're frustrated too, here's your chance to make a refreshing change. You'll notice the difference as soon as you call. They're easy to talk to. You can get a price within 2 minutes. Here is the number. Call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40.
The U.S. placed
News reports on the Lou Information Station are presented by Brown and Crouppen. Brown and Crouppen.
So what's his handle?
Get BC.com.
You're gonna need lawyers, right? This message is presented on behalf of Delmar Mortgage. When it comes to buying or refinancing a home, everyone's situation is different, and having the right information can save you real money. Delmar Mortgage helps you compare options side by side, understand the cost of waiting, and see when refinancing may actually make sense for you. Get your no obligation quick quote at SavingTheLou.com.
Individuals may have been compensated for this message. For licensing information, visit NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Delmar Mortgage, NMLS ID number 30998. Delmar Mortgage is an equal housing lender. The Lou Information Station presents coverage of the Mid-States Hockey Playoffs, presented by Vantage Credit Union. Game coverage includes Founders Cup, Wickenheiser Cup, and Challenge Cup games, including each division's championship. Tune in or log on to the Lou Info YouTube channel. Mid-States Playoffs are presented by Vantage Credit Union and by Mattingly Lumber, WashU Medicine Orthopedics, and by Kenny Reinhold with Caldwell Banker Realty Gundaker.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify.
800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. That's 800-803-1961.
The Lou Information Station presents Art City Now with Vic Faust.
What up, St. Louis? Good morning. It's Thursday. It is 7:05. It is February 26th. We are off and rolling. What a beautiful morning. The sun is shining. We are at the end of February. We are heading straight in to the beginning of March. Glad you're with us. 855-282-8255. Give us a call if something's on your mind, or you can jump in on X, Facebook, and YouTube. We are your Lou Information Station, and we are live and on demand at louinfo.com. Always glad you guys are with us. What's happening in your neck of the woods? Anything you want to promote this weekend? Any events going on, charitable events, anything at bars, restaurants, you name it, let us know. We'll certainly get that information out there for you. Appreciate it. By the way, we have lots going on. And when I talk about lots going on, I wanted to give a shout out here because we got a little hockey segment coming up here. We'll show you Jack Hughes last night talking. Do we still have that video, producer Rye, by chance? Is that in there, buddy?
Yes.
We'll show you that, but I wanted to give you a shout out because we were talking about the Blues as we were going to break. The Blues they come back into action tonight. They did not play last night. They play their first game tonight. They're at home against the Kraken. The Kraken lost to the Stars last night, so they had to play a game. They're coming here. I don't know if it helps or hurts the Kraken because teams haven't played for a while. You know they're rested. Even after a night of a game, they're still rested. And sometimes it takes you a while to get your speed back up. Timing, hand-eye coordination, skating, all of that. So the Blues will do that tonight. They'll get back on the ice. They host the Kraken. Be curious to see what kind of a crowd shows up. It's a Thursday night. A lot of people like to go out on a Thursday night. But we also know that the Blues aren't going anywhere this season. They're one of the worst teams in the Western Conference and one of the worst teams in the NHL, at least according to point totals. So will people show up, number one? Number two, it's the Kraken, a newer team. They're a pretty good team. Better than the Blues, 27-21-9. And then on Saturday, the Blues will be hosting Jack Hughes and the New Jersey Devils. But before I get to Jack Hughes and the Devils, big special congratulations go out to Joel Quenneville, the Q, the former Blues coach, got his 1,000th career victory as an NHL head coach last night. That is, I can't even tell you how phenomenal of a feat that is. He's 67 years old. He's been coaching forever. Lots of success in his career. Most of it, obviously, with the Blackhawks. But Quenneville joins only one other man to ever have 1,000 career wins as a head coach. And that was another guy who's had a stint with the Blues. It's Scotty Bowman. Freaking phenomenal. Anaheim won last night. Come from behind win, 6-5. Quenneville gets the victory. That's huge. Huge for his Anaheim Ducks. And he said that he just wanted to play his team play well tonight, find a way to win. That was the motivation. And it turned out to be a very special night as well, that they ended up getting that victory. But Joel Quenneville certainly provided some good memories in St. Louis and then went on to a phenomenal career after leaving St. Louis. So kudos to him. Congrats. What a freaking just incredible job he has done as a head coach for a long time. He came back this year after being gone for 4 years. And then, of course, Anaheim has been battling to make the playoffs, and they're a darn good team. Anaheim is one of the best teams in the Western Conference, led by Joel Quenneville. I mean, I say one of the best, but I mean, they're second in their division. They have 65 points. They're going to make the playoffs more than likely, unless they have a total collapse. And Quenneville got his 1,000th win last night. So that was a huge deal for Joel Quenneville. Then we get back to the situation of what it was with Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes, the American star, will be in St. Louis on Saturday at 4:00. Well, last night, Jack Hughes was back in New Jersey. Literally, was it less than 24 hours after being at the White House again? And I mean, he was on a bender, as a lot of those boys from the hockey team were for about 4 or 5 days. Well, last night, Jack Hughes was back home, and before the game began, they did a tribute for Jack, and he took the mic, and here's what Jack Hughes had to say to the fan base in New Jersey.
United States, its first men's hockey goal medal since 1980. Devils fans, let's hear it for number 86, Jack Hughes.
That was freaking phenomenal. The chants of USA, USA, USA. Once again, everything Jack Hughes does, he does well. Smart, educated, thoughtful, caring for other people. A moment that was meant for him, he made sure to bring out his teammate, Tage Thompson, who, by the way, another former Blue who was traded away, had a pretty darn good Olympics. Not a ton was expected out of him. Congrats, Jack. You did it well again. You're freaking amazing. Way to go. Way to go. Way to go. You are a national treasure. You're a national hero, just like the rest of the American hockey team. They're heroes. They're people to look up to. They're people that you want your kids to look up to. No doubt about it. Awesome freaking job on the ice, what they did. So with that being said, they played the game last night, and Buffalo went on to beat New Jersey in that game. And there was a play in the game where Tage Thompson picked Jack Hughes off. He picked the puck off his stick, literally stole it from him, went down, set up his teammate for a goal as well, as Buffalo went on to win last night, taking down the New Jersey Devils. But by the way, once again, the Devils come to St. Louis Saturday, 4:00. Jack Hughes will be there. And it certainly would be really, really cool. Just a really nice, classy gesture by the Blues and their game day management to at least put the Jumbotron on Jack Hughes and give him a congratulations and an honoring for our team winning the gold medal so that the fans can give him a standing ovation, which is exactly what he deserves. And, you know, the fan base would. So hopefully we certainly do that. I hope, and I don't think Colton Parayko or Jordan Bennington would have an issue with that, since they're silver medalist and it was Jack Hughes who beat them, specifically Jordan Bennington in that game. Things happen. Bennington played well. He did what he could. That, by the way, that goal he gave up, that there was not much he could do to stop that. Not at all. So anyway, I just love seeing that. We'll see what happens this Saturday if they do that. Of course, if you go to the game, you may get a chance to see Jack Hughes get honored from that standpoint. All right, guys, this is Arch City now. It is just about 7:15 on a beautiful Thursday morning as we wake you up in St. Louis. Of course, the sun is shining. We've got sun for like the next 3 days. Temperatures in the 50s today, high 70 tomorrow, like 60s on Saturday. If you get a chance to get out and enjoy it, do as we wind down the month of February. We are grateful that you guys are with us this morning. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Hot Take Central takes things over from 8 to 10 each day. It's a Thursday, so on Thursdays we have the Co-Found Her show, and then from 11 to 1, it is the Charlie Tuna Experience. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. By the way, also recently, shout out, because I know it can be easy to forget as time goes by, but a lot of people in the Dardenne Prairie area recently gathered again to celebrate what would have been the 25th birthday of Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz. You may remember the name, a local Marine who was killed in Afghanistan nearly 5 years ago. He was one of 13 U.S. service members killed in a suicide bombing in Afghanistan. The exact date was August 21st of 2021. You may have seen events for him over the years. In the years since the attack, his family, his family's friends, local residents have held annual events to maintain his legacy and try to support veterans all throughout charitable initiatives. It was very sad for this incident to happen in the first place. And then when you talk to the family, and I have talked to the family, they still never really got full answers on what happened. They said that they were lied to. And, you know, you lose a loved one and then you can't even get the truth, treated with a lot of disrespect, according to the families. When that happened, just sad state of affairs all the way around in regards to what happened. But this last celebration took place at a good place, Town Square Pub and Grill. And they're still raising money all the time. So if that's something that's near and dear to your heart, you can always jump in on that if you want to. And of course, all in the memory of Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz, and of course, the life that he left behind. Hey, how about some Cardinals news? Yesterday, they won 6-0. I mean, I know it can be fool's gold, spring training numbers and things like that. But Richard Fitz, one of the new pitchers, looked good in 2 innings of work. He's got a fastball that was approaching 99 miles per hour yesterday. So that's pretty interesting to me. Also, not just that, but Nolan Gorman hit a 3-run homer. He's going to have a lot more opportunity. He's had a lot of opportunity already, but he's going to get more of an opportunity now with Nolan Arenado being gone. No doubt about that. And then you want to see this team continue to get better with really no expectations at all on what's going to happen this year. So Cardinals back at it again today. And speaking of the Cardinals, it's it's here, but this year you want to talk about a Hall of Fame class, the Cardinals Hall of Fame class. Albert Pujols, Yadier Molina, Brian Jordan, and George Hendrick. They are the class of nominees for the Cardinals Hall of Fame. And you have, those are 4 big names. George Hendrick probably being the least known name just in recent times because he was the oldest, but he helped the Cardinals win the 82 World Series. Wonderful. Big George, Silent George, drove in the game-winning RBI in Game 7 of the 82 World Series. Brian Jordan, just a phenomenal athlete, played with the Cardinals, helped them get back to the playoffs for the first time after 10 years. Also played safety with the Falcons. Yeah, he was an NFL player and a Major League Baseball player at the same point in time. He had some very good years in St. Louis. And then, of course, Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols. What else do I have to say? I could bore you with all the details and the stats, but obviously they're both going to be going on. They're dominant to the best from Cardinals, but to ever play the positions that they played in Major League Baseball, nonetheless. So, by the way, when it comes to the voting, that voting will take place. It's open now. You can vote through April 17th. The team said the player of players with the most votes will be enshrined into the Hall of Fame on September 12th. And that is quite a list of players. And then, of course, the year after will be Adam Wainwright. He's going to be going in. So you got those Cardinals, the superstars, just the phenomenal job that they did. When you think about it, and we'll forever talk about the seasons that Pujols had, that Albert had. But when you break down their numbers, just phenomenal, especially looking at Yadi's numbers. Molina, you're talking about over 19 years, all with the Cardinals. Most in games played for the Cardinals, 2,226. Just under 2,200 hits, 408 doubles. Also the most decorated catcher in team history. 10 All-Star appearances, 9 Gold Gloves, 4 Platinum Glove Awards as well. 2 World Series. Leader, made everybody around him better. Just phenomenal all the way around. And then, of course, Pujols. He played half his career with another team, the Angels, but still had a phenomenal first stint with the Cardinals. Rookie of the Year, 3 MVPs, helped the team win the 2006, 2011 World Series, came back, hit his 700th home run here. Just for, it doesn't get any better, and it will never get any better than those 2 guys. Brian Jordan and Hendrick, had some nice stats too and some nice moments here, but Obviously, anybody's numbers and or experiences would pale in comparison to what Albert and Yanni did and St. Louis. But that'd be cool. Speaking of which, I mean, look at where we are already. We're just over a month away from the start of the season. Cardinals baseball already here. Wow, wow, wow. From that standpoint of what we see coming through and coming down the line. This is Art City Now. Glad you guys are with us this morning. We're talking about the Cardinals and the Blues. I found this interesting too. Yesterday, if you didn't see it, Cardinals president Bill DeWitt Jr. was doing the SBJ National Sports Forum in St. Louis. And he was asked, about what concerns him most when it comes to, being an owner, running a team, things from that standpoint. He brought up the changing media landscape, literally, because of the rights fees going down. They've lost, he said, quote, "You've got to address a declining revenue stream somehow, some way. You've got to navigate it." There have been reports that the Cardinals are going to lose at least $15 million a year because of the TV rights situation. Yeah. I don't care how rich you are. You're going to feel 15 million. Okay. You're going to feel 15 million as an organization or a business going bye-bye. They're trying to figure out a way to do that. And there's got to be a way, obviously, when the Cardinals put together their own broadcast. And that's something that all St. Louisans would appreciate. DeWitt also was there with St. Louis City FC owner Carolyn Kindle, who is brilliant as well. So is Blues president and CEO Chris Zimmerman. They all do a phenomenal job. Visionaries, looking forward, trying to put their teams in the best possible positions. And, they were figuring out how they're going to do this. Now, the Cardinals opted into Major League Baseball's league-operated local broadcast solution. We already know that. For how long, we don't know. And then, of course, we don't know if there's going to be a lockout at the end of this next year. But it's certainly on a lot of people's minds in regards to how they're going to be able to handle the broadcasting rights and make money and put the team in the best possible position, especially competing against other teams that have a lot of money coming in from broadcast rights, like the Dodgers, like New York, like the Mets, the Phillies. I mean, these are teams that you have to compete with, and you're going to have to spend money. And the Cardinals have not done well, even when they've spent some money in recent years trying to compete with those ball clubs. It just hasn't worked yet. So Cardinals are certainly going to have to figure out a way how they can handle anything and everything from that standpoint. The time on this Thursday morning right now, it's 7:25. Glad you guys are with us. We've got Major League Baseball. We were talking about what's happening with these broadcast rights. Something else that may be interesting for all of us because of how we watch games and whether we're streaming. Netflix has a package of baseball games this year. Netflix does. And they are now able to bring in, they've set it up in a way where they're going to be able to measure ratings from Nielsen. So Netflix is now entering the first season of their 3-year deal with Major League Baseball to carry an opening day game. Netflix is going to have opening day games. They'll have the Home Run Derby. They're also going to have the Field of Dreams game. So we're going to find out how many people are actually watching these games on Netflix now. It is interesting, too, because the only live sporting events that Netflix did in the past that were measured by Nielsen was the Christmas Day NFL doubleheaders this last year. If you remember that, we had that. And then they've had a bunch of fights. They had one off golf and one tennis competition as well. They did a WWE Raw. Netflix did one of those too, but they were not measured by a third party like Nielsen. So it's going to be interesting to see where we are. Netflix is also going to move into sports in the coming years. They've got the 2027 Women's World Cup Soccer which will be interesting. And then, of course, they're trying to get more into Major League Baseball, Nielsen, that is. So we'll see how that all works out and how that all plays into the mix. But I don't know. Very, very interesting from that standpoint. Hey, when we come back, Brady Tkachuk, St. Louis's own, said that he's having some issues going back to Canada. You remember, he's a captain of the Ottawa Senators in Canada. I don't remember him saying anything bad about Canada. I don't remember him ripping Canadians. I don't remember him doing anything wrong to Canadians, but he says they have a problem with him. We'll get into that story when we come back. This is the Lou Information Station. We are live and on demand at luinfo.com. Of course, you can watch us on X, Facebook, and YouTube. You can also give us a call if you want to at 855-282-8255. Of course, we're also on 590 AM. Glad you guys are with us on a beautiful Thursday morning. Producer Rise here. I'm Vic Faust. This is Art City Now. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with all of that on this Thursday, February 26th, right after this.
You've seen this. It's brand new. Are you online?
Oh, hey. Oh, so you're new here.
All right, let's get cracking.
Okay, then maybe you should check out our website,
You're insane.
Well, you download songs illegally from the internet.
luinfo.com. The Lou Information Station. 590 AM KLIS, Wood River, St. Louis.
Our origin story begin.
Yo, I got a key to the front door, back to the back. 100 little problems and they all attack. I'm the boss. The backup plan B, C, and D. If it breaks, guess what? Who's fixing it? Me. I'm the meeting, the marketing, the late night grind. The day we pay that bill, panic on my mind. Yeah, I started this dream with a big old plan. Now I'm the whole department in the one-man band. CEO doesn't mean chief everything officer.
Delegate like a boss, because you are one.
Contact Morgan Pinnacle Group to learn more.
When you buy a hot tub, you want more than bubbles. You want value that lasts. At St. Louis Hot Tub Warehouse, their low overhead means premium American-made products priced better than the competition and the best price guarantee in town. They'll beat any local dealer on a comparable model. With over 38 years in business and 400-plus five-star reviews, you can trust they'll be there to service your spa long after the sale. St. Louis Hot Tub Warehouse. Highest quality, best price. Visit besthotTubPrices.com today.
luinfo.com news headlines. Brought to you by Brown and Crouppen, 222-2222.
Your luinfo.com news report. The Boeing company is expanding its F-15EX production line in St. Louis as demand grows. The company's produced one F-15 per month for about 20 years, and that rate will double to 2 per month in early 2027, with deliveries beginning in late 27 or early 28. The company rep said Boeing did not slow hiring during the strike, increasing its F-15EX workforce. Those specific numbers were not released. Great Rivers Greenway is unveiling a nearly mile-long Brickline Greenway stretch featuring a new mural by St. Louis Artworks honoring the St. Louis Stars. The project is part of a 10-mile Brickline plan connecting 4 major parks and 14 neighborhoods. The $245 million project is expected to be finished by 2030. Spring training is on for the St. Louis Cardinals, and 2 franchise legends are headlining the Hall of Fame ballot, Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina. Fan voting is open through April 17th, induction on September 12th. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com and the free Lou Info app, I'm Jen Austin.
Now, luinfo.com weather. Presented by Home Bank. Member FDIC. Secure your financial future by opening a high-yield checking account today. Go to myhomebank.bank to get started.
Here's your luinfo.com weather update. Some clouds for a while, but things will clear out this afternoon. We have high pressure moving in, mid-50s on the high. Overnight will be clear with mid-30s, and then we're going up to about 70 for the high on Friday and sunny. Maybe a shower Saturday and low 60s, and then rain showers and cooler on Sunday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com and the free Lou Info app.
Hey, St. Louis, looking for high-flying action and electric energy? Grab your crew, hit the road, and experience a Grizzlies game night in Memphis. An unmatched atmosphere and star-studded NBA matchups are waiting for you just down the road on I-55. There's nothing like Grizz Game Energy, and there's nothing like being here with 19,000 new Grizz Nation friends at FedEx Forum. Dive into the action. Follow the Grizzlies on social media and visit grizzlies.com/tickets to grab your seats today. That's grizzlies.com/tickets.
The Lou Information Station presents coverage of the Mid-States Hockey Playoffs presented by Vantage Credit Union. Game coverage includes Founders Cup, Wickenheiser Cup, and Challenge Cup games, including each division's championship. Tune in or log on to the Lou Info YouTube channel. Mid-States Playoffs are presented by Vantage Credit Union and by Mattingly Lumber, WashU Medicine Orthopedics, and by Kenny Reinhold with Caldwell Banker Realty Gundaker.
Listen up, fellow timeshare owners. If you're a timeshare owner and you want out at all costs, you're done, frustrated, tired of wasting money, you don't use the darn thing. Get out now. Hire the best Bulldog timeshare cancellation team in the business. Their in-house legal team, headed by a timeshare cancellation lawyer, can help you fight the biggest and baddest companies out there that sell timeshare. At some point, you were using your timeshare, but now you're not, and you're tired of wasting money. Before you go to the poorhouse, call right now and learn how you can stop the maintenance fees and put more money back in your pocket. Their services cost you a lot less than you think. And over time, call the Timeshare Exit Hotline now. It's a free consultation.
800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. That's 800-824-5131.
Back to more of Arch City Now with Vic Faust on the Lou Information Station. Streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Hey, welcome back into the show today, guys. We appreciate you being with us. About 7:34 on a Thursday morning. What a beautiful day. The sun is shining. It's not windy. Feels like spring. Oh, gotta love it. Gotta love it. We are here, Producer Rice here on Big Faust. It's Arch City Now. We're on X, Facebook, and YouTube. That's where you can stream us live. And, of course, you can listening on 590 AM. We are your Lou Information Station. We are live and on demand at louinfo.com. And, of course, we're here Monday through Friday from 6 to 8 a.m. The Hot Take Central 2.0 show, and those boys will be up from 8 to 10 o'clock today. Cam Jansen, the former Blue. And, of course, Cardinals broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes. The Blues are back in action tonight. 7 p.m. start time with the Kraken. No real big trades have been made. Maybe there won't be. Justin Falk, by the way, at the top of a list that the NHL kind of put together, trying to figure out who is on the NHL's trade deadline, which, by the way, is March 6th. So there's still another week for things to get done. The Blues, of course, one of the worst records, or at least point totals, in all the NHL, second worst in the Western Conference. And, of course, they're expected to be sellers. They have 5 players represented on the list. The one with them that's considered to be the most likely to be traded is defenseman Justin Falk. He's number 4 on this list. That's pretty high. The next one after Justin is interesting. It's Jordan Binnington. That's right, Binnington. And he is up now to number 10. Could Binnington be traded today or in the next week? Would be very interesting. Joel Hofer has come on, obviously has won a Stanley Cup, hasn't had a deep playoff run like Jordan Binnington has. But is Binnington going to be a guy that's considered to be up to be traded? Maybe. Who knows what Doug Armstrong might be putting together. Alexander Steen, who'll be taking over next year. Number 3 on that list at number 13, number 3 Blue, that is, but number 13 overall, Blues captain Braden Shen. Been a tough season for Shen, but be interesting to see the captain. He just always does what it seems like he does whatever the team needs him to do. Number 4 on the list at number 22, number 4 Blue, that is again, Robert Thomas. Robert Thomas, if you didn't see yet, and he's loved in St. Louis, super talented guy. He's been on the injured reserve list. He's been injured, hasn't been playing. Also, had to take a leave of absence. The Blues did not say what it was, said he'd be back Friday. So he's not around today as the Blues get back to action tonight, hosting the Kraken. But Dalibor Dvorsky, who had a really good Olympics, is a guy that's, making a case to maybe take his spot. So you could see Thomas gone. And then finally, 41st on the list is Jordan Kyrou. Jordan and Robert Thomas, it seems like it would take a lot to get those deals done. Probably, when you look at all intents and purposes of what it would take, maybe not getting any action until maybe the offseason to get a deal done, but we'll see. It's certainly something to keep your eye on. But that was a list that was compiled by The Athletic when it comes to the Blues and when they could get traded and who exactly, if that was going to happen. Okay. Now you know it. Now you see it. And we move on from there. A couple of news headlines, which found interesting as well. If you're a Missouri driver and you have a newer vehicle, a vehicle that's 6 years old or younger or less than that or older, 6 years, no more than 6 years old, you can now choose a 5-year registration option when you're registering your vehicle. And you can pay cheaper price on it. So if you pay for a 5-year, you only have to pay $45. The current fees are $9 for 1 year and $18 for 2 years. But if you want to, you can pay for 5 years to register your vehicle, and you can pay $45. Interesting, because the House in Missouri yesterday voted 143-0 in favor of it. You don't get those all that often, but there you go. That is an opportunity for you to get that done. Also, the legislation would make 2-year tags available to all drivers by rolling back a previous rule that limited that option based on whether a vehicle's model year and calendar year are both even or both odd, a system that was originally made to balance the state revenue from registration. So they took care of that, changed that up a little bit. So now people have that option to go ahead and use that. All right. Now we know. Now we can move on from that standpoint. That's for sure. And what other things are happening in the state when it comes to what we've got going on. Other news happening there. You've got some votes going on and hearings all throughout the area when it comes to these data centers. There was a special Pacific Planning and Zoning Commission meeting in Pacific last night. It was supposed to happen, but it ended within minutes after the developer behind the proposed $16 billion data center decided to withdraw their rezoning application. But then that frustrated the auditorium because people came there expecting to give their complaints, and then they were told, well, they withdrew. Will they try to come back? That's what we're going to have to wait and see. Beltline Energy pulled its request to rezone some land just south of the city limits. So that didn't allow people to have a opportunity to talk about their complaints with trying to bring it into the city, which has become a very, very popular topic. Data centers and where are they going? What are they going to do? And not just in Pacific, but there are some votes going on in different places around all throughout the city. There's no doubt about it. That's happening where people are trying to decide, do we want this here? Would it be an issue if we did have it here, and so forth, and trying to figure out what's good, what's not good. And of course that has people wondering. It's like, okay, what are we going to do with this? Are we going to be able to make this work? Is it safe? Is the money that we're supposed to get for our community going to be worthwhile? So those are some of the things that are happening right now when it comes to finding out what's going on. Okay. Brady Tkachuk Brady Tkachuk, as you know, he's an American hero now, along with his brother Matthew, St. Louis's own. He said, because he's a captain of the Ottawa Senators, and the Americans just beat the Canadians in hockey. And we know the Canadians are live or die hockey. According to our ratings in the United States, for TV and radio and consumption, hockey is our 4th most popular sport. So when our 4th most popular sport beats their only sport, obviously it's going to upset Canadians. Well, last I checked, Brady Tkachuk hasn't been running his mouth. He wasn't ripping Canadians. He wasn't giving them dirty hits during the game. But he says now he has to go back to Canada. And upon returning, he says that he is feeling their anger. He says he feels as if he is not accepted in Canada right now. They're still pissed off that the Americans beat the Canadians and now we're the dominant team in the world. And when I say dominant, meaning we're the champs, we're the gold medal. We are number 1. Canada's number 2. So being the captain of the Canadian team after you just beat them in the Olympics, yeah, he says it's been a very odd situation. He says he has not received a warm welcome back, and Canadians are having a problem with him. He's like, they're not the happiest with me right now. He said this in an interview with Fox News in Washington. He's like, I'm just going to go back and give them everything I got. He's like, it's a funny feeling when you feel their support every day, and then all of a sudden 2 weeks later, you're public enemy number 1. Trying to talk to some of the similar people. It feels like he's getting a cold shoulder after he's admitted that things have changed after returning back to Canada to join his team. He said that he wasn't shy about knowing that the blowback was going to be coming his way. He just hoped that as they begin, because the Senators play tonight, they host the Red Wings. And he feels like they're in a playoff run. They're trying to make the playoffs. Says he's just going to try to win them back, keep a smile on his face, and get ready for a playoff push. I mean, what else are you supposed to do? I mean, there is nothing else you can really do. There isn't. You're done. You are done from that standpoint. It's over. You won. And then you're like, okay, now we just hope and pray that somehow, some way they accept him back. So the other part of that we showed you earlier was Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes will be back in St. Louis on Saturday, 4:00. Jack Hughes with the New Jersey Devils, 4:00 Saturday. You can go watch that game. They had a game last night. They lost to Buffalo. You had 2 American teammates going at each other. Tage Thompson, his team won with Buffalo. So, you start to get back into some of the things that are happening. I also felt this St. Louis Post-Dispatch did a best of St. Louis rivalries. And I don't know if you're too busy, producer Rye, but when you start talking about rivalries, throughout, you feel free, you can jump in if you want to. If not, it's all good. What are the best rivalries in the St. Louis area from a high school sports standpoint or school standpoint? I saw this come through. I can tell you CBC DeSmet's one. Obviously, Webster Kirkwood. Mm-hmm. That's a big rivalry. The Parkways against each other are some rivalries. I get that too. I'm curious, when you were in high school, did you guys have at St. Mary's a massive, massive rival?
Yeah, Cardinal Ritter.
Oh, that's right. Cardinal Ritter.
Yeah,
St.
Cardinal Ritter hated us for some reason. I think it's because we took all their girls. But got nothing to do with
you
me.
were all boys school.
Yeah,
they had girls.
Yeah, so half my teammates dated a girl from Cardinal Ritter. So,
oh my God, I love it. Feel free to jump in on X, Facebook, and YouTube and let us know about other rivalries. I mean, because there's so many, there could be massive rivalries in every corner.
I know the whole Metro Catholic Conference is like rivalry.
Yeah, they are. And you can interchange them, but I still felt like it was still more CBC to Smet.
Yeah.
I always felt like SLU and Chaminade.
Yeah, I was gonna say SLU and Chaminade,
They-
CBC and Desmet.
They have a big rival, more of a rivalry.
MICDS and Ladue, right?
Well, I wouldn't say
Or
that
MICS and John Burroughs.
it's Burroughs. Yeah, they're a rival for whatever that rival is. I mean, but yes, those schools are rivals, not just in some sports things, but proximity, area, culture, maybe from that standpoint.
Academics, maybe.
Yeah,
Somewhat.
academics. The Metro East has some great rivalries too. Getting over into the Belleville area.
They do. That's what I was gonna say too. Illinois got some good rivalries.
I mean, does East St. Louis have a rival? Is it Edwardsville?
Themselves, maybe.
Yeah, themselves, I guess.
Well, Belleville West did beat East St. Louis, so
Yeah. What basketball?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. There's rivals there. I mean, then you start breaking down all throughout the area. I mean, you get into, South County over in the St. Charles area, the kind of rivals, who rivals who, some of the big ones that are coming and starting to happen, and also old school rivals. Lindbergh, who's Lindbergh's, the school that's been around for a long time, who would Lindbergh's biggest rival be? It's interesting because they used to have, who used to be when I was growing up were big rivals? It was the old Suburban North Conference. You had Pattonville and the Hazelwood schools. The Hazelwood schools had big rivals against each other, but then that kind of started to dissipate a little bit. And then what makes a rival too? I don't know. It's an interesting article that the Post have, and I think it's good to have some high school rivals. But I always thought that it seemed like the high school rivalries were bigger, 20 years ago than they are now. I don't know if high schools care as much. I don't know. Just interesting when you start talking about some of the rivals when it comes to what kids are doing and proximity and high schools and what makes a rivalry a rivalry. Just trying to think of some more of those when it comes to the area. I mean, and I know people don't care about this one because it's on the Metro East, but when I was going to school at Altoff, you had Belleville West just right down the street. That was a big rivalry. I was curious if you were going to say Cardinal Ritter for St. Mary's from that standpoint, which you did.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was more of a rivalry on their end. They just was very
well. That's the other. You're right.
They're we didn't like them because they were a really, really good team, right? And they were close, but at the same time, I just didn't like playing them.
That's fair enough.
I am not like a rivalry driven person. I'd be competing with myself 24/7. So it's like when I was.
That's a good point.
When I was going up against them, it was more like I just don't feel like dealing with this rivalry BS. Like I don't feel like having to wait for the police to escort us after the game because it's a fight or something. Like I don't feel like dealing with that. Like it was always something like that happening, and it was never players or anything, but it was always people that were just fans. I remember somebody fought somebody's uncle.
Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous.
It was just a bunch of stuff, and that was football though. But it was just it's always something with Cardinal Ritter, man. It's always something.
If Cardinal Ritter wants to defend themselves, 855-282-8255.
Cool school. I like your colors, but man. Dude,
yeah, I get it. No, I did. I get it. It's all good. My son played Cardinal Ritter a couple times in football.
Just be wilding out.
Actually, one time they played. Anyway, check it out. What are the rivalries from that standpoint? Hey guys, by the way, pretty cool thing here. Haven't most people gone and bowled at least once? Yeah. There are people who are good bowlers and people who like to go and bowl.
I'm all right.
Well, the PBA Tour, we got the Professional Bowlers Hall of Fame in St. Louis. The PBA Tour is back in St. Louis now. I think it'd be pretty damn cool to watch one. I've covered almost every single sport there is. I've never covered professional bowling, ever. But the Pete Weber Missouri Classic is taking center stage this weekend out at Bolero in St. Peter's. I think it's pretty darn cool. If you haven't seen it, and I don't know how packed it gets and how difficult it is to see, but 90 of the best bowlers will be competing for a spot in the finals this Sunday. Quote, St. Louis has so much bowling history. It's really nice to be back in this part of the world. That's Tony Lanning. He's the national tournament director of the PBA. Said they're looking forward to having a great crowd this weekend. I bet they will, especially if the word gets out. So what happens is the bowlers will compete for a spot in the finals that will be broadcast on the CW11 at 3 p.m. this Sunday. They said, quote, anytime that we're on TV, especially a network TV, and they are this weekend, it's awesome because our ratings are better or our bowlers are better. Because our ratings are better or our bowlers are better, said Pete Weber, the Hall of Famer, baby. He says it's really neat to see that the CW has actually picked us up and is willing to help us out. But I've been bowling and I've seen somebody, rolling their spins and knocking down some strike after strike. But imagine watching bowlers be able to pick up the best in the world, do what they do, pick up a spare.
When you go bowling, have you ever seen the people who bring their own bowling balls?
Yeah.
And they be looking like goats.
Yeah, I know a lot of those people.
Yeah,
And when I say a lot, I mean like 10.
Yeah, maybe I want to get like that one day.
And I'm not at bowling lanes every weekend.
That's what I'm saying. Like whenever I go bowling, I just look at those people and I'm like, man, you guys are some goats. At first I was like, try hard. And then I saw them come in and like bowl. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, there's one thing I've learned. Beware the bowler who brings his own ball.
Yeah, that's when it's going to get real.
I've never seen somebody bring their own ball and not be able to spin it in a good way.
Yeah, well, for one, they're greased too. Like the balls are greased, so it spins different looking. Like it does all types. Like if you really look at it, it's not cheating, but like regular people just show up with it and just grab the ball.
Yes,
roll it,
I got if one
right?
finds that fits my fingers in my hand.
And then right. I'm still trying to figure out which one feels the best. I'm just rolling it out for the first one, right? But like with them, it's strike after strike after strike because it's their ball.
Sure enough.
Like,
no, but that's gonna be cool, man. If you get a chance to go out to that, it's something I would like to do because I've never seen it.
Yeah,
I've covered one. I want to get out to the Kentucky Derby too. I haven't had a chance to cover. I was out at a couple races. Keeneland, beautiful racing track in Kentucky for a race. Covered NASCAR, IRL, World Series, Rose Bowl, Super Bowl, been to World Cup. What else? What else is there? NHL Stanley Cup Finals covered NBA Finals. Never been to a professional bowling event. I finally found one. I may have to stop by on Sunday just to see if you can get in. I just have a feeling being back in St. Louis that it's going to be packed. Because that's not something people see on TV much. Ever. And of course we got Pete Weber, baby. Once again, that is the PBA Tour back in St. Louis, the Pete Weber Missouri Classic. It's at Bolero in St. Peter's. It's a good place too, out at St. Peter's, Bolero. Big, good place. You can go out and see the balls. 90 of the best bowlers competing. 90 freaking bowlers out there, my friend. You might be able to pick up a technique or two and see who can do a good job. So once again, that's coming up on Sunday. And it's also going to be on the CW11 at 3:00 on Sunday. And that'll be live from the St. Louis area, Bolero in St. Peter's, which I think is really darn cool. Okay, we talked about it. You've got the Blues tonight, 7:00. Hopefully they can get back in action. At least finish the year on a good note. Give us something to feel good about from that standpoint. It's going to be a beautiful day in the 50s. It's sunny. Doesn't appear to be a lot of wind outside, which will make it easy even better. Sunny and 70 tomorrow. Yeah, we'll take that as well. Oh, yeah. And then Saturday, also in the 60s and more sun. Yeah, so we got 3 really nice days of sunshine. Enjoy it as best as you can. Get out. And, of course, Saturday, we'll talk more about tomorrow. You got Jack Hughes, American hero, coming to St. Louis. He plays with the Devils. They have a 4 p.m. game. It's one of the, I don't know if you call it the matinee game, but 4 o'clock game Saturday. Interesting start, a little bit of an earlier start on Saturday. All right, people, thanks for joining us today for Arch City Now. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Hot Take Central 2.0 with Cam Jansen and Jim the Cat Hayes is coming up next. As always, have a great day. Stay positive. Make the most of it. We appreciate you being with us today. So for producer Rye, I'm Vic Faust. That does it for us for Arch City Now. We are your Lou Information Station. We are live and on demand at louinfo.com. See you tomorrow at 6 a.m.